Hello and welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. This one is going to be talking about over and underexposure, one that I call the big sky shot. We're going to take this shot here, which is a CR2 file, and we're going to adjust this because obviously it's tried to even out this exposure, which just didn't work. So if we actually look at a shot like this, let's see if I've got one like this in JPEG. Here it is. This one's in JPEG. So if I open this shot in Photoshop, which is what typically people do, and this is sort of a, um, a reason to be shooting in RAW only. If I take out the timeline, I was doing a cinematograph before. Let's go full screen on this. If you look at this, then say, yeah, it's tried to even out the exposure, so the sky's too light and the ground is too dark. So you might go to image, adjustment, and then try and adjust the exposure. Now, in straight Photoshop on a JPEG, you just haven't got enough information to actually adjust this. So if I take the exposure down to try and get the sky to come out, it just looks blah. And then if I try and bring it up for the ground actually doesn't look too bad, but look what happens to the sky. It's just like totally destroyed. Okay, so it's just not the best tool for using this. However, if I close this one up and I decide to open up Camera Raw, let's get to my desktop again. Whoop, desktop. Here, I'll just minimize this. And I go here and I open up Camera Raw, which is part of Photoshop. Now, if I adjust the exposure here and take it down, look at the difference in what happens to the sky. Now I get some dynamic look in the sky. So I'm going to take it down till I like the way it looks. Ooh, and I like the way that looks. And you can play around with it. I like increasing clarity occasionally. And if I want a bluer sky, I can drop the temperature down a bit and bring out some blue in the sky. And maybe a little bit of vibrance. There we go, and a touch of saturation, just to bring it out. Now you've got a very dynamic looking sky there. Now if you open the image, it just opens that in Photoshop. And then what I do is, let's do full screen again. Let's go back to my desktop. I open it again in Camera Raw. Now if I open it again in Camera Raw, it has the settings before, but now I'm going to reset these. I'll leave the clarity up, but I'll take down the vibrance. Oh no, actually I can leave those the same. I'm just going to change the exposure and the temperature. So let me adjust the exposure until the ground starts to come out nicely. Okay, so we don't want to go too much. I'm going to adjust the temperature a bit here to take some of the blue out of the ground. There we go. And we're going to increase the vibrance to bring out some of the green in the ground. Maybe a bit more saturation too. And a touch of contrast. Just to bring it down. And that's decent. Okay. So let's open that image. Okay, so again, so now we've got one that is exposed properly for the ground and one that's exposed properly for the sky. Now we want to combine them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place this one, so Command A, I'm going to select the whole thing, copy it, Command C, go back to this one, Command V, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gradient mask on it. So if I hit mask and I choose the gradient tool, now I can't remember which way it goes. I think it goes down. We'll find out. Hold the shift key and just drag down. There we go. Yeah, maybe, yeah, actually that's probably pretty good. This, and you can decide how much of a fade you want into this. Like if I did a longer fade, it actually is kind of fake because it fades out as it goes further away. So I'll probably do a short fade like this. Let's see, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe not that much. Hard to say because you're losing some of the building here too. So could go like this. Could go on a slight angle if you wanted to. You could go like this. Let's see if I went like this on a slight angle. Oop, too much of an angle. Maybe like that. Well, actually, that works out pretty good. So that way you get the building in and the clouds, and then you just save it like that. And so that's a great way to take a raw photo and bring out the best of what you saw with your eyes.